Good morning and welcome to our broadcast. Grateful to have so many of you already on the live this morning. Good to see you, Dolly and Dolly Anderson, that is. Benjamin Bristol is here too. Good morning, Benjamin and Joanna Green. Godfrey Montaigne is here as well, and we got Sabrina Blue. Kyle Bino is here, of course. Good to have you, Kyle, this morning. Laverne Joseph is on the line this morning. We got Aubrey Stevens is here too. Gail Ali Cock is here. Good morning to each and every one of you folks. It's Friday, October 4th. We're in the middle of the month. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of the month, folks. Lionel Simon is here as well, and Maxine Monroe. We hope the morning is treating you guys good. We hope the day is off to a running start. We just hear this little black tea, what we can tell you. No doubt Camille has already had her merengue. Camille is on the live this morning. Camille Cox, Camille McKenzie. Depends on which day of the week it is. But good to have all of you wonderful folks here with us. Truth be told, I don't feel to do a thing this morning. I don't feel to move a muscle. Have you guys have days like that? No? Oh, sorry, I the only one. You don't feel to do anything? Sabrina Blue, Orwin Don, Bushmaster. Good to have you on the live. Beatrice Selby, we see you there as well. Beatrice, Jilly G, not to be left out. Jilly G, yeah. Jilly says she don't like see me drinking the black thing, you know. We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. But good to have all of you on the live this morning. Are we trying to find our way at our end? You know how it is. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Quite a few things to get through this morning. But we're happy that you guys are going to be here with us. And, you know, as we come on this morning, I want to prevail on you. I did say, good folks, I did say I'd be asking for your assistance. We got to come off this grid. You know, we fed up. Things like what happened to the cricket happened to us. We fed up. Can't have things like what happened to the cricket happen to us. We won't allow it. No. We heard Jagvio yesterday in that press conference trying to explain what transpired. You just leave it to the technical folks.
By the way, it was the lighting thing was terrible. I didn't go there, but I heard about it and I saw some memes saying that caused the blackout. But the thing is that I found out what happened. So they told me that they have three of these lights that are powered from one 400 kilowatt generator and another three from another 400 kilowatt generator. And that the underground cable to that generator burnt and it caused a feedback on the generator. So they had a hard time finding out what happened. The underground cable was burnt. And so this is what took place. But it's unfortunate that happened. And it's very unfortunate that also the rain fell yesterday. It's very unfortunate. I didn't get to go, but I was very disappointed that the rain fell. I think we would have made the score.
Yep. That's how you know the crosses. That's how you know the crosses, good folks. Yep. It's he caused it. It's the crossing government. They caused it. Oh, we did plan to be different in the morning show. Let me dial it back a little bit. I know some of you are still having your breakfast. Your breakfast. Having some black tea here. Jagno Stadium. Blackout, folks. Blackout. Those wires, you know. Let's leave it to the technical folks. The wires. And with brooms. Wires. Camille wants to know what he really said. I don't want to see it. I happy you said it, Camille. What did he really say? What did we really say? Kyle says, so we had the birds eating out the wire from the power ship. That was the earthworms in the stadium, yeah. We got some dangerous creatures in this country. Folks, it's Friday. We can just take it a little slow. I need to take it a little slow. You know? I need to take it a little slow. Good morning, Naomi. How are you doing? Naomi Drucker. Imelda Higgins is here as well. And All the other folks, right? See, Beatrice talking about the female ward there at the GPHC. We can get a chance to talk about that. Karen Mohammed, good to have you in the live as well. All you beautiful folks. Yeah. The birds at the stadium and the earthworm. You could imagine the two of them combined have some children. My God. The birds and the earthworm. Yeah, on the ground. The things on the ground. Pipes on the ground. Anthony Jarvis, good to see you there. Wires on the ground. Andrew Griffith, Jagdio Stadium, Jagdio Country. Yep. Jagdio Corruption, Jagdio Ministers, Jagdio Money. Correct, Andrew. Andrew Griffith, good morning to you. Claire Capel, morning to you as well. All the other folks joining us this morning. We want to prevail upon you. We did say we prevail upon you to partner with us. We're celebrating our fourth anniversary next month, but we want to get a head start on this project. This project that we have, folks. We got to stay powered up. And we've identified a solar system that's going to keep us off the grid and keep us going blackout, rain or shine. Folks, I won't lie to you. It's going to cost a little something. Right? It's going to cost a little something. I bought many years ago for my own personal use a little generator, a little small E-something generator. E-something generator. And it only pushes 600 watts, right? Let me give you the comparison. 600 watts, this little generator. The iron is 1200 watts. The average iron, that you're going to press your clothes with. I don't know what you guys call it up north. Y'all call it iron too? Or the pressing apparatus, the pressing mechanism. The average pressing mechanism is 1200 watts. Yeah, apologies there. For a second, I thought it was blackout. Apologies there. So as I said, we've had a little generator in these parts here, and try to put it on the other day. We had some accumulated darkness. We had some blackout, and realized something at the bottom is not some holes at the bottom, or whatever you call it, leaking. Took it to get it fixed. The guy said the other day we called to follow up. They said the technicians haven't been able to get to it as yet. So this little 600 watts, I think that's it, generator can't even push an iron. You can get a little fan out of it, a fan or two, but that's about it. You can get a fan or two, but the energy needs for us at this side, of course, we want to come off. We want every side call it iron. The average iron is about 1200 watts. Y'all ever checked it? Let's check in the back of your iron, right? And that's how you can know your energy consumption. When you look at all of the wattage, every light, every screen you have, the camera, what's the watt of that? When you accumulate that, it could be 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 watts. So you would need a generator that goes above that. If you're going solar, you have to get batteries that go above that, right? So that you can efficiently manage your power supply. So that's the direction we want to go. I've been pondering, and as you guys have known, I've been talking about this for a little while. Since I started talking about it, to be fair, about 2 persons sent us donations. But now I'm more settled in my mind. When you contemplate the noise the proximity to the studio, the neighbors, and all of that. The consistent what do you call it, fuel supply you can need if you have a ordinary generator. I know some folks say you have some of the diesel or the gasoline generators that are very quiet, but I think if we come off the grid completely, it's gonna be in our best interest, and we don't always have to go and run and buy fuel and keep checking to see if the thing of fuel and all of that. So trying to work smarter, not necessarily harder, right? If I'd say we call it iron, I don't know. I know y'all got some fancy names. Y'all call these things, so I didn't want to assume you leave home here in Guyana calling it an iron, and you gone to the north and it's still an iron. You might got some other fancy name, you know. Some people come back and kind of pretend they don't know what you're talking about. You say, could I have a sweet drink? It's a sweet drink. What is that? You'll call it soda. You know, could I have a soda? Sweet drink? What is that? Roti? What's a roti? Oh, we call it wraps. You know, some of y'all false and fake and fraudulent and can't talk. So this is the direction we're going, folks, and we trying to have it before we celebrate our 4th anniversary. Y'all help us. We can chip in a little bit too. The little bit that we have, we can chip into, but we crave you. And listen to me. I at this stage now, I don't fancy who said we begging you all the time. Flap that. Right? We can't do it on our own, and we're asking for help. Who don't like it, don't watch. And of course, nobody's mandated. You know, like the meters they ask you to install now, you're not mandated. So folks, every contribution you send us, this is where we're putting it. All right, for the next 2 months. I don't know if we hope we don't have to go into December, but it's going to cost us. Right? It's going to cost us. You remember when we purchased the drone cost us about $2,500 US. You're always so gracious. We were able to do that in 2 days, and as you've seen, it is still serving us well, and we think we were ahead of the curve with lots of the things that were happening. You know, you need an aerial shot to show these jagabats and trench crappers doing. You know, and that was year before the last. Believe it or not, was it last year? We had the drone project. Was it last year? You know, time flies. It seems like five years ago, right? It seems like 5 years ago. So folks, just you want to help? You did I put it up properly? Let me see if we can do it from this end. Yeah. All right. You need further information. 592-627-6963, our usual number, and we can forward you any other details you might need and how you can contribute. This is where we're going, folks. This is where I think we need to be. And of course, listen, we want to get ahead of this. You know, we had to get into an election period too, where we might need to be on air more than twice per day. And I don't want GPL determining how often we're on air, bringing you guys the valid and credible information, right? I don't want GPL to determine that at all. So we're trying to get ahead of this thing. We should have been in this direction a long time ago. But I'm gonna try to be considering how many times we come and ask you to chip in and help us to go down the road. But this is the direction we're going with, and we were waiting for the graphic artist a couple of days to help us to pull this together pictorially for you to help us to come off the grid a little bit. Come off the grid a little bit and stop being at the dictates of the trench crappos and the jagabats. So this is the direction we're going in. And you need more information, folks. 627-6963. We thought we'd give you guys a little advance notice and don't spring it on you next month when we celebrate our 4th anniversary, because we know some of you need time to prepare. You know, you got your budgets and all of that. You don't want to, have to go into the 401k. Is it the 401k and all that? So we're giving you guys a little advance notice, but this is the direction we're going in, folks. Thank you so much in advance for your support, and I'm gonna try to keep you guys. I'm gonna do um, for the want of a better phrase, a ball by ball commentary as we get the funds, as we install the equipment and so on. I'm going to give you guys a ball by ball coverage so you all know where we are and how we're going. And I'm really looking forward to your support. But that being said, folks, let's get to some things we got to touch on this morning. Caribbean Airlines pilots and plane. We saw them protesting on the Piarco International Airport. One time I used to live at Piarco, just behind the airport in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I was very, very pro Trinidad. Live just behind the airport. You could see where y'all coming in, and I had to move out because once Guyanese know you're living close to the airport, that's where they want to stop first. That's where they want to stop first. So I had to move out, come back, because some of y'all are getting a little overbearing. For the short of it, y'all are getting a little overbearing every time. You understand that? They can't let some people know you're living close to JFK, right? I know some of you living just behind, just off JFK. You got Holiday Inn. What else you got? I know they got a Best Western there. Some of y'all live just behind. You can't let anybody know, Soon as a flight delay, if they got to sit down hold on the airport, they won't come by you. The pilots want more pay, of course. One of the things affected here, they said a lot of packages, of course, if you got flights not coming nor going, a lot of packages are going to be affected, right? So if your shipments are delayed, you know why. If you got some package coming with a shipping company and it's delayed, you know why. When I saw the pilots protesting here, I didn't see no threats to deduct the pay. I didn't see any threats to label them as opposition inspired or anything like that. Why, since we got a protest here, people find all of these things to say? Huh? Why is it? Oh, is the opposition and this and that and soon as the teachers protest, is this one corrector? A whole manner of unsavory things. The people call it industrial action, and that's that. They said the pilots protested at the Caribbean Airlines, Caribbean Airlines pilots protested at the Piarco International Airport. This was yesterday morning. Right? However, they said that the protest didn't disturb too many of the flights. The pilots gathered outside of the airport's entrance, holding placards and calling on the government to settle outstanding wages and increments owed to them. It's always that. It's always that. Pay the money. Pilots want the money. But that was a good takeaway for me. You didn't see them, blaming the opposition. Oh, it's Kamala. She put him up to this and so on. She put him up to this. I see Imelda says it ended last evening. Well, good for all of us. Good for all of us. You all know by now, this is the airline of my choice, Caribbean Airlines. I tried some others, and I know those of you who are coming from North, you all seem to have a better experience than those of us who are traveling out. Those of us who are traveling out. Caribbean Airlines tend to be a little more expensive, but I find they're a little more dependable. And, they should just send us a little something for that promo right there to our solar system fund, right? Or solar electric system fund. They should send us something for that. I find it a little more dependable. Some of the other guys just delay and cancel without notice. Without notice. But these guys tend to be a little more dependable. You know, it's good to have a couple things you can depend on in this life. It's a good thing. Puts your mind at ease. You can depend on a couple things, not everything, but a couple things. But we're happy if the strike has been broken. You're seeing some commentary there. Alson, Andrew, what airline you fly with, boy? Huh? My brother, what airline you fly? Alson, what's your airline of choice? Brenda? Yeah, I don't. It's just a little dependability, right? But mind you, I love being in a new place. Love, 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 love being in a different place, right? But you see the flying? I like the flying. I like being in the other place. Guyana got some lovely places to see. But you see them little planes? My Jesus. When the little saucepan take off so from Eugene Correa, and then like it's tickling, like you can fall back. I couldn't take it when I was young. And now that the old, what's yet? What's yet? Naomi says she's only fly private. She don't fly, never travel with Caribbean Airlines. She's only fly private. Yeah, she's commercial private jet and so on. Right? Marlon says, Alexis says, I hate Caribbean Airlines. What do you? What do you, Alexis? I hate. Marlon Chavez says, but choice is JetBlue. Right? Dolly says, I love my American airline. I find American Airlines is good in America. To travel around in America. But I find like once, especially this Guyana thing, I don't know if other countries got similar problems, but I find, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad experiences with American Airlines. I'm giving up on Caribbean Airlines because of the price. You know, there's the little pricey. You know, but for the peace of mind now, after you get stranded 1 or 2 times, flight cancel and so on, especially getting out. Like I don't mind so much if I overseas and flight cancel and so on, because I didn't want to come back in the first place, right? But it's when you're here, you really want to get out. You really want to get out. Lynn Finance said JetBlue. That's our airline of choice, JetBlue. Yep. Wave Nidora says American Airlines is good too. Right? Well, I know you'll be thankful now when them boys striking. Thankful now for that. Moving on, folks. Locally, you remember Timothy, right? You remember Timothy from the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce? You remember Timothy Tucker? Well, Timothy has offered some comments on the small businesses in this country who have been feeling the brunt of, let's call them foreign companies coming and sucking all the air out of these small businesses. You know, you see several of them cropping up in these communities. And small businesses, most recently, McDoom been crying out, oh, if these guys come down here, this is going to put you in shambles. This is going to put you in shambolics. Literally crying out. And you all heard the ring around the roses explanation from the vice president just yesterday. Ring around the roses. And here is Timothy Tucker, former president of the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, calling for stronger protections for local small businesses. I thought I was a little off last night. I thought I was a little off. And I may not have articulated it as clearly as I wanted to. But there have to be a point of balance somewhere. You know, there has to be a point of balance. We can't just drop behind and say, oh, there is nothing that we can do. I don't buy that. Right? I think you say when you're taking people money, you're taking people bribes and so on. And you just don't want to do anything. But Timothy Tucker says that there must be stronger protections for local businesses against growing foreign competition, particularly from Chinese supermarkets in Guyana. He says, while recognizing the benefits of foreign investment, He emphasized that it should not threaten the livelihoods of indigenous businesses. He says they are vital for single parents, retirees, and families. Right? You see, if the opposition had done this, you'd hear, oh, there they go again. Oh, look, they put all these people in the sugar industry out of work. Now look, they come for the smother, to kill small businesses. I want to hear the private sector body though. I don't just want to hear Timothy Tucker, who is no longer president of the GCCI. I want to hear the current president. I want to hear the GCCI. I want to hear also the private sector commission on this matter. Tucker noted that inadequate access to financing hinders small business growth and warned that foreign companies with greater resources could overpower local enterprises. And that's the point I was making. This mom and shop, as y'all say it in the north, the mom and shop pops, is that what y'all call it? Right? The mom and pop's shop can't compete. Can't compete. And I want to believe these are not just individual Chinese families who have resources who are deciding to open up these businesses. I think this is a centrally led operation where individuals and families may have access or be given large sums of money. How come the average Guyanese don't have this kind of income available to them? How come? And when both our East Indian brothers and sisters and our African brothers and sisters in places like Magnum crying out, you must know the rubber hitting the road. And of course, this is not racism, God forbid, against our Chinese brothers and sisters. But the point that Tucker makes is that you cannot have foreign businesses. This could have been American businesses. For all we know, this could have been Surinamese businesses. It just happened that it's Chinese businesses that is squeezing out what Tucker recognizes to be indigenous businesses here locally. Right? And it's not enough to say, oh, as a vice president, that the regulatory agencies like the what do you call them, zoning and anti-competition regulation and so on should be enforced. What are we doing? A whole vice president know all these problems existing. What is he doing? He meeting with Sue in the living room. What is he doing? It's not fair to people. I agonize, agonize over what's happening here. I saw my brother from another mother, South Ramville, open a supermarket there. Jesus have mercy. Since he opened that supermarket, you have 20 other businesses prop up around him. The same way you wouldn't put 50 schools in 1 square mile. Why would you do that to businesses? Huh? Why would you do that? And I am firm that Paulette Greaves, Orrin Dunn, there must be something that we could do as a people to give our brothers and sisters, their indigenous businesses, an equal footing. And access to finances is one of the areas that Tucker raised. Listen to some of what the vice president had to say yesterday on this matter.
We are seeing that there are small vendors who are complaining that the Chinese businesses at the supermarkets are pushing them out of business. How does the government plan to balance Chinese presence with the Guyanese businesses, especially the smaller ones?
I spoke with about 4 persons, and they recognize that you can't stop a foreigner once they get access into the country, because we don't have restriction on foreigners or foreign companies establishing business in Guyana. There's no restriction on it. And it's hard to put a restriction based on nationality. So we can't say, oh, the Chinese can't open business here. only it's reserved for Canadians, or Americans can't open business here. It's reserved only for people from India or some part of the world. You can't place restrictions of that nature or on opening business based on nationality. It would not only be against WTO, but it would run you into a very difficult foreign policy situation. So the people who are claiming competitive disadvantage recognize that. However, they're saying that they do not have a level playing field, and they have a point there. They argue that sometimes these companies bypass regulatory approval, and the regulatory agencies don't hold them accountable for the laws of Guyana. So they put up a building that breaches the building permits. No ventilation there on the building. They will get a visit from the inspector, and who says, "Oh, to sell pharmaceuticals here, you have to have proper ventilation." But next door, there is a Chinese company selling pharmaceuticals that has no ventilation whatsoever. They're not applying the law uniformly. Secondly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he know everything. He know the whole story. What is being done? He talked to four people. He talked to you talk to cabinet. What is cabinet gonna do? Well, he said don't go to cabinet. He repeats that like it's a badge of honor. He's a chief policy maker, scamp and scrutineer. I don't go cabinet. What's the government position? You're in a position of power and influence. You know regulations are being breached. Unfair competition. But what are you doing? Huh? You mean once you collect your 10% consultation fee, does it? And we in this thing, folks, folks, these guys don't breathe the same air we breathing, you know. They don't live the same experience that we're living. They don't do it. And that is why it seems so out of touch. Wrong and wrong in circle. Wrong and wrong in circle. You know when they can start feeling it? When the Chinese start making pylori and you go around by Monrepo Market and competing, and they got them printers printing puri and printing curry and so on. Then we catch result. Then we can catch result. We cannot. I think the broader point Tucker made is living like second class citizen in our own country. It's painful to watch it. Painful to watch it. Right? Painful. People struggling here every day. And then, my God, I keep telling you, all of you stand up one place too long in this country. Fetch out, you know. Fetch you out. You stand up on Cam Street. You don't know when you meet Lambert. You don't know how or when you meet a Lambert Street. You just, so I meet you. They fetch you out. National coach. Motorcycle gone. Them boys come back for the bike. National cycling coach, Randolph Roberts. Them boys come back for the bike. Roberts didn't know he just borrowed the bike for a little time. You ever wake up good. Then you realize you're in Guyana. The stadium lights could go at any time. The runway lights could go at any time. Your motorcycle could go missing at any time. These things set you back like you could not believe. When you know this is my itinerary and this is how I'm going to get about it. And you got to figure out now, hold on, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do now? A couple of Sundays ago, my wife and I went and we said we're going to eat out. We're going to have breakfast somewhere. When I come back, the car will puncture. The car ain't gone, the wheel is puncture. I feel like the whole week on my shoulder. The whole week, I feel land on me back. It's when things happen, you're not contemplating. It's, oh, shucks. I have to take out this wheel now. I got to take out the jack, touch up my hand, set up myself. They gone coach bike. They're gone with coach motorcycle. Hey, kids, you all seeing these things? You all seeing these things? The bike, the motorcycle, Coach Robert says, has been a gift from his brother, from his brothers rather. Bought for $360,000. And he uses motorcycle to train cyclists. He parked, he said, at the entrance of his premises on Monday, retired to bed. He didn't know that's the night. That's the night them boys coming for the thing. Yvette, them boys gone. Them boys gone. With coach bike. Coach grounded now. Grounded. It's just things to irk you in this country. And then you hear people talking about fastest growing economy in the world and all of that. Highest GDP, and you're not even safe. Your things is not really your own. Them boys could come anytime. So I'm taking back the bike now for coach. That happened recently. You know, our thoughts and prayers with him. We hope that he find a way forward. I know vexing you again is when you see so much going on, and your lot in life is just being made worse. Just being made worse. They tell us that they withdrew some more billions of our oil and gas or oil money. More billions. Government has transferred $62 billion or 300 million. And you know, it is the ease in which they do this now. You know, you're handling big money like it's nothing. $62 billion they've transferred from the Natural Resource Fund to the Consolidated Fund. They're going to spend Wild West now. Right? This election money now. And then your fund coming for talk some nonsense by National Assembly. 62 billion. You know, every Guyanese ought to ask themselves, since this oil start pumping and we earning this money, Timothy, Kyle, Leon Harding, has your life improved? Ask yourself that. Abigail, Valerie, since all these billions, minus the billions, imagine we don't have oil and we don't have gas. There's a government, they would have had to make do with the other, what they call it, non-oil sector, agriculture and this and that and so on, right? We'd have to be balancing up with books with those things. Good. In addition to that, we got oil. How come we still punishing? This thing is fascinating to me. How come you got nothing extra in the bank with all these billions? How come you got no extra in your pocket? Huh? You just watching the light meter taunting you, counting down on your prepaid. Huh? Watching it double digits, come to single digits or your triple digits to double and to single, taunting you. Where is money going? Where is it going? 62 billion. Billions for the boys. Billions for the boys. That's been going, I don't know. You might have a better sense. You know, Glenford, Kyle, Claudette, board silting out the wire, worm silting out the cable. Crime is there, prevalent as ever. Mismanagement, skullduggery, corruption, nepotism, favoritism, marginalization, victimization have only intensified. Right? One might not have even mind all of that if at least your pocket looking nice. Nice time. But you're gonna endure all of this nonsense now. And we still poor. We still poor. I heard the advisor on the economy, the economic advisor to the leader of the opposition, said we have spent over the last 4 years, if not the last 2, what previous governments have spent in 10 years. How come our quality of life has not improved? How come your friends still have a call in GWI and tell them, look, y'all try with this dirty water here. It's 4 years in, we hadn't got election. Y'all gonna make me look nice, throwing some chlorine there or something. Huh? How come coach bikes still getting teeth? Where is money going? Ashley and the boys. Where is money going? Cost of living sky high every day. Every Monday, Starbucks News tells us. Different communities, they canvas. It's the same thing. Oh, it's rough. Rent high. Food high. Everything sky high. No relief in sight. With all the billions, this is the great paradox. The resource course. Is this it? Upon us? Jagju again, yesterday in this press conference, he was asked about the cost of living. They should be ashamed. What they're doing should be criminal. He was asked about the cost of living.
I noticed this thing about cost of living again. But the background is they would never put in the stories all that we have done to address cost of living. As I said before, I don't think a single country here or in the developed world has done in and relatively have done what we have done in a relative sense for key components, drivers of cost of living, key components from the cost of transport and electricity and water and internet and mortgages and helping the farmers through fertilizers and all of that sort of stuff. The food prices, we dealt with it already. That food prices sometimes goes up and down, and I pointed this out, that the president will, when he speaks to the parliament, he will be addressing cost of living alone. He'll be speaking to parliament, but he will also speak about this matter. But he will point out all that we have done so far. That the opposition is saying, first, that they will remove all those subsidies to keep the cost of living. Now they've changed it to keep the cost of living down. Now they've changed again. I noticed this thing about
Apologies there, folks. Yeah. This is so criminal. Like, I don't even want to hear Irfan because you know all the refrains. We hear them all the time, all this good that they're doing. I don't know why you got to listen to the National Assembly too. This is happening on the 10th, by the way. Parliament is coming out of recess on the 10th, and there's a sitting of the National Assembly on the 10th as well. And Irfan is going to be addressing the Parliament. Of course, when the president is there, it's no longer the National Assembly. It's convening of Parliament. I know why. We'll take it as we go. But I don't perceive you'll hear anything new. But this is why I'm saying this is criminal. Right? He talks about the price fluctuation and all of that. Here's why it's criminal. Since February, the opposition agreed with the government that there ought to be some cost of living measures to mitigate the high cost of living. There ought to have been some measures in there. Right? And we agreed and approved over $7 billion. Over $7 billion. That's February. We're in October. Guyanese, not a cent of that has been spent as yet. Not a cent of that $7 billion have been spent as yet. So I foresee that Irfan is coming out to tell us this is what we'll be doing. We'll be given X and Y and Z. But that money has been approved since February. And the vice president knows the hardship Guyanese are going through. Right? But this is the nature and the wickedness of these people. To get your back against the wall. And then they come and say, oh, look, I got something here for you now. Them is the criminals, and they come pretending they're the saviors. They create the problem. And then coming as though somebody else created and they got the solution for you now. Since February, Paulette, Sabrina Blue, Desiree, Ali Cock, Karen, those monies were appropriated, approved by the National Assembly since February. I would be shocked if Irfan come tell to the National Assembly on the 10th and then tell we what cost of living measures they're implementing. What has taken them from February to October to bring ease through different cost of living measures for the Guyanese people? But you know what? They got to drag you close to Christmas. And then they can say, oh, this is a back pay. That's approved since February, folks. And then some young ones say, thank you very much, Jack Deal. Thank you. You're simply the best. Simply the best, Jack Deal. Simply the best. Thank you so much. While the opposition and this installed regime agreed, 7+ billion. This is criminal. This is criminality. And back when then, them won't write about that. Right? And Diarmas and them, Jacobs and them, they won't write about this criminality in the letters to the editor. It's criminal. I said that. And at the part of this press conference, the vice president, oh, he talking about the opposition always has with the old rhetoric. Be corrupt. You know, we racist. It's time we do away with this old rhetoric.
These are Guyanese, and we're happy that they did. Ignored all of that, but continue with this old rhetoric, intent to mislead people. And then ask, you know, who owns different things in the country. Ask Nigel Hughes and the PNC that he supported in 1992 what people own in Guyana, any race, and then you would understand this issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You ever notice their rhetoric? Everything bad is the opposition. Everything bad, right? It's the worms that they left eating out the cable. It's the opposition birds them eating out the wire. Everything bad. Everything good is them. Everything good. It's them. Everything good. So the opposition rhetoric is if we try to help some Afro Guyanese, is how slaves is, according to him, right? The man that talking about, oh, we must do away with the old rhetoric. We must do away with the old rhetoric, he said. 2 seconds later,
Even Hamilton Green, the elder, I saw he wrote something in the papers and a letter. And I say to myself, when Hamilton Green could openly write a letter in the newspapers and people can openly read his letter, then democracy is alive and well in this country. If you check Hamilton Green's past, you will find every thing that is wrong about governance, and you may find quite a few things, and I'm being very diplomatic here.
yeah. We can stick with we rhetoric. But see y'all, this old rhetoric that this old rhetoric that y'all get here. We can stick with we rhetoric. See this one, Hammy? The one Norton. This one Nigel Kati. Oh, father. Look, I don't know how. If I sit in one of those press conferences, right? I gotta ask Nazima how am I getting invited to these press conferences? I see some media houses I never hear about yet. I hear a man ask a question, and you know you gotta state which media house you're from. I hear something like Starlight Drive-In. I have about 3 places. I says, which media house is this now? Daycare International. How come we don't get invited? I would laugh through these press conferences, you know. But our journalists, they sit like it's a big international forum. And sir, he got to talk this nonsense. The opposition rhetoric, right? We don't think they like black people, and we don't think, you know, it's this and that. And, and in the same breath, you see this one, Hammy here? This one, Hammy. Right? This one, Nigel. Conflict of interest, Exxon. Never an easy day with these folks, with these cats. Never an easy day. Before we wrap up, before we wrap up, right? We gotta watch the rhetoric, eh? This whole rhetoric. We got here, right? Try these boys. Before we wrap up, there's no old rhetoric. This is fact now. Marlon Thomas is there, girl. Where are you, Marlon? This is some facts out of Region 10. The water war is intensifying. So, folks, where the 62 billion going? 4 years in is water wars in Georgetown, water wars in Linden. All the places got in common. Huh? Like it's only water wars in certain places. How a song there? Recently saw some Londoners complaining about the quality of the water. You heard the accent there? That's water. Come on now. The quality of the water in Linden. Here it is, man. This is not worms, it's now the cable now. Listen to this. Remember the freak storm in Linden 2 weeks ago? This says the storm damage to electrical infrastructure. It's not GWI. Oh, but for the storm, you would have had crystal clear, potable water. In law, we learn about the but for tests. But for a certain course of action, this would not have happened. We want to give you a clean desert spring water, purified, triple filtered, distilled. But for the storm y'all had there, but for that storm in Georgetown just the other day, he said the same thing. We didn't have a storm. He said the turbidity. Only God knows what that is. The turbidity, sedimentation, and qualification, or absence thereof. That's what causing the water. He said, but we're fixing it. Storm damaged the electrical components now. Is what's standing between Londoners and the potable water. Yep. So much for all them billions we're pouring into GWI. So much for the billions. Storm damage to the electrical infrastructure. He says not Sheikh Bash, not GWI. Right. He said a large transformer, the Wizrock treatment plant. The transformer, no place else, unaffected. It's just the Wizrock water treatment plant. And he said this plant, it is maintained by the Linden Utility Service Co-op Society. Says now it's y'all power plant transformer. Anything working in this country? Ask him one more morning. Anything working? Good folks? Anything working? Anything working? Young man abducted right outside State House. A stone throw from State House. Right with paper shorts, get gunned down. This young man was abducted. No word yet. No word yet. It's related to that drive-by shooting they had in Durban Street a couple of weeks ago. No word yet on him. Joshua David. It's about 3 men who forced him into a car outside a new drive-in restaurant. And they were believed to have taken him in the Buxton backlands. The disrespectful to Buxton. When they went there, the search, bow to stern, they still don't find nothing of no one. Joshua family held a vigil recently. A week ago in central Georgetown. You see what I tell you about the deteriorating security we got here? Buying some food. The family held a candlelight vigil on Main Street, calling for a safe return. Just last night. We're spending billions, but on what? Who's benefiting? Not Joshua and his family. From improved security. What are we spending it on? What are we spending it on? Pack of foolishness. Homework. Look what we're spending it on. Irfan C, not just giving back a sluice door to Canal Number 1. Irfan C, I can give you all a never done sluice door. Y'all remember the never done suite? He said give you an indestructible. We can see the second coming before the sluice door destroyed. Number 1 canal. He said give you all a stainless steel sluice door. Train on your chest. Number 1 canal. Stainless steel. That can fix the problem. Not competent staff who can attend to the sluice door at the requisite time. No. Stainless steel for y'all. You on it? Let's help Rec. Stainless steel coming your way. And the area of procurement, MP Mahi Paul says we got to overhaul the act. Overhaul the act. Starbucks News, read Starbucks News today. Wish I had some more time to go into unpack the act. Police are still investigating the assault on Brian Prasad, allegedly by Bird Ness. Still investigating. How often have we heard that? How often have we heard that? No stone unturned. Ever learning, but never coming to the knowledge. Ever investigating, never coming to finality. Then I saw some letters in the press this morning saying that Sam got to retract this statement about even with the paltry sum, we should be thankful to ExxonMobil because we ain't got the capacity to absorb more. Folks calling for Sam to retract those statements. Jack he had big, man. He had just big. Give big head people like me a bad name. He had big. But Sam, we got something inside we own. He head and Sam head is big for no reason. Empty big head. Empty big head. And we talking about coach who bike motorcycle went MIA. Somebody gone MIA with a rental car. Folks, things tight in this country, you know. Things tight. They went away with coach Randolph Roberts motorcycle. But things tight now, the Ghana rental car. Ghana rental car, they say attempts, a 53-year-old is at his wit's end after renting his car to another man who has since vanished without a trace. That sounds like it could be a series, vanished without a trace. He said attempt so far has proven unsuccessful. But since August 5th, the man collected the car. The car is owned by Rufadel Razaka. Rufadel Razaka. Is owned by Razaka since August 5th. The man rented the car and gone. HD 4787. Vanished without a trace. Things tight. Things tight. They gone with Rokasa car. They gone with Coach Roberts motorcycle. Watch y'all selves out there. Watch y'all selves out there, folks. Watch y'all selves out there. Now it's gonna do it for us at this end this morning. The first 15, folks, we give you about 20. But we give you about 20. Don't mention Naomi. Don't mention it. Folks, again, we want to say flat GPL when the time comes. And so, forgive me if we do it every show, just reminding folks, we got our fundraiser up and running. And to partner with us, we want to procure some solar equipment so we're not affected by GPL. You need any information, folks? 627-6963. Please, there's strength in numbers, right? And that's why I'm reaching out to you guys, because we clearly can't do this on our own. We ain't going with nobody car. We ain't going with nobody bicycle. Right? We just had a idea in we big head. We gonna reach out to y'all, Naomi. We gonna reach out to y'all. Naomi says she wasn't counting. She's preparing for work. So she didn't know if it's 15, if it's 13.5, 13 and a half, right? She didn't count in this morning. But I telling you, it's about 25. But the extras is on us, Naomi. Extras. This morning on us. Smash that emoji button before you go, folks, and partner with us. Y'all know we haven't prevailed upon y'all in a long time. We wanted to do something during August, but we held back in a little way. And here it is, folks. Our solar project help keep us powered up, and ready to go. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. That's going to do it for us this morning, as we said. That's our time, good folks. That is the program. That's the program. Have a fantastic day. We're going to see you guys right back here in the next one. Deborah Pearson, I can't wait myself. I can't wait myself. Cheryl and Naomi, Beryl, Lettel, Desiree, and Sharon. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. That's our time for today. And that's our program. Stay safe, one and all.